Hi friends, I was thinking about how oftentimes we have these vegetables that can last a long time, kind of like a butternut squash, and they're really good to have on hand, but what do you do with them? And one of my big problems that I've had getting these wonderful vegetable boxes that are available here in Oman in the great growing season is, what do I do with all these vegetables? Like maybe it's my butternut squash, or maybe it's all of these green beans. And so I thought, let's start a series to figure out how to use these vegetables so that we can cook healthier. I'm going to show how to prepare a butternut squash today, and then hopefully in some subsequent series we'll be able to show how to eat it and how to actually enjoy it. So let's get started. So first off, I like to use a peeler. My mother taught me this little trick and it's really wonderful, and then it just makes it a lot easier to clean up your butternut squash. You can see it just peels off really easily. And I'm just going to peel the entire thing except for this little area here and here, and we'll come back and talk about it more in just a second. All right, so next what we're going to do is we've got this little heart here that was probably the flower, I'm guessing, and then here's the stem. What we're going to do is just cut those off, and I kind of just like shimmy the knife through it because I don't like having my knife just come down whoa, right onto my cutting board, because then it just dulls my blade that I work so hard to get. So put these off to the side. I like to cut it in half right about here in the middle. And then I'm kind of just shimmying it through because it's a really hard vegetable. And then on this one, I'll just cut it in half. But this one's going to have seeds inside, so then we're going to have something else we're going to have to do here. So once I cut it open, I've got the seeds on the inside. So grab a spoon and just kind of carve out the inside like a miniature little Halloween pumpkin. Except for this one will taste good. All right, so I've got out my seeds, and I'll do both ends, and then we'll chop it up. All right, and these seeds can either be used for, I don't know, if you wanted to roast them up, I guess you could. There's like a ton of them, but you could. Next, what I like to do is cut this down in the middle, and then kind of just cube it all together. And then we'll move on to kind of how we're gonna cook it. But just give a little demo of how I chop up this vegetable. Always just making sure my hands are out of the way. Still trying to cut it all together. All right, so that's how I'm gonna go about cutting the rest of this, and we'll come back and we'll show you how to cook it too. All right, so I've diced up all of our butternut squash here, and I'm just gonna get this all into my pot. And run away eggplants, and butternut squash. Here. Okay, right. And I'm just gonna fill it up till it's just almost covered, but not. You see, it's still got quite a bit that are over the top here. And then I'm going to set my flame to about a medium heat. And I'm just gonna steam them up. Okay, so what we're going to aim to do with all this butternut squash right now is I'm hoping that if I have all this butternut squash that is already ready, then what I can do is I can just mash it up and stick it in a plastic bag or a container and put it in my freezer. Then we've got the option to be able to do a quick lentil tacos or a stew, or be able to make a fresh, squash soup, or you can even make empanadas. There's a lot of different possibilities, but from here's our starting point, and we'll just kick off there. Okay, from our butternut squash, I had a few seeds, and it's not a lot of seeds, but it's kind of nice to know that like pumpkin seeds actually have some of the most high content of protein of any of the seeds out there. So they're worth saving. So I've just done a little bit of olive oil here, and then next I'm going to grab a bit of salt and just kind of lightly dust it. Stick it in the oven for about, 20 minutes at around 130, and kind of check it out and dry it out and roasting it. And you've got yourself a healthy snack that's power packed with protein. Try it out.